VK7HH, VK7ZBX.
In today's video we're going to be talking about the IC-9700 and using the RS-BA1 version 2 remote control software, where you can remote control your IC-9700. You can be away from home, you could be have your IC-9700 perhaps at a remote site, perhaps at home, but you can be remotely away from it and be able to control just about every aspect of the radio. So we're going to step through exactly what settings you need to put into your IC-9700 and also the installation of the software. So the first thing that is in my radio that I had to set up was just in the set menu. So we just tap on menu, then set, and then connect a network cable. Now the 9700 has the server for the software built into the radio, so all you need to do is just connect in one LAN cable to connect to the internet or to your router, and then once you've done that, just tap on network. Now if we scroll up, we can see that my IC-9700 has got an IP address of 10.0.0.251 that has been obtained automatically from the way my network is set up. So I didn't have to do anything there. I just had to plug in the cable. There's a few other settings here that need to be set under network. My primary DNS server was blank, so I had to set that as 8.8.8.8, which is the Google DNS server. And I just set a network name, and I just put my call sign with 9700 just so that I can see it on the network and know what it is. Network control needs to be switched on for us to be able to control this radio over the network. Now I set the power off setting on, left that as shutdown only. You can also put it into standby / shutdown, but I didn't do anything there. I just left that as shutdown only. Now I left all of these ports as default, 50,001, 50,002, 50,003. These ports, if you're going to be remotely accessing your 9700 outside of your local network and away over the internet, you need to be able to port forward these ports so that you can access that. There's more information in the RS-BA1 manual on how to do that. Of course, it's going to vary from router to router on how you actually do that. Internet access line, this was set by default as fibre to the home. I'd set mine as ADSL CATV because that's what closely aligns with the type of internet connection that I've got here. Now we also have a network radio name. Now I just set mine as IC-9700. I didn't do anything special there. Now we've got two network users. Presumably this is, you can have more than one user using the radio or permission to use the radio, that is, to two different accounts. So just create a username and ID and password. Mine's just my call sign and the password, of course, and set as an administrator, which is yes, which can then control all aspects of the radio. You can set this to no if you've got a separate user who you don't want to have as administrator access. So that's about just all the settings in the network portion. Now there are a couple more settings that need to be set in the IC-9700 to allow remote control. Now if we go into connectors and we go into CIV, now there's a couple of things in here. The baud rate I've set to 19200. That was set to auto, but we like to set a baud rate that we can specify in the software easily. The CIV address, A2H, I didn't touch, but I didn't have to enter that into the software, but it's always handy to have that if it doesn't automatically populate. CIV transceive on, can't remember if I did anything there. Now the CIV USB port, make sure that that's set to unlink from remote, and the USB baud rate is set to 115200. What that means is that you can then be able to view the scope in the RS-BA1 software. If you don't set that in the radio, then the baud rate's not fast enough for the scope to work. So we need to make sure that that's set. CIV data baud rate 9600, I don't think I touched that at all. That's to do with the USB on the back. And that's about it in that menu. I didn't touch any of these. I think LAN, AF, IF output was just set as default. I didn't touch anything there. So they're basically all the settings that you need to get the IC-9700 talking to your RS-BA1 IP remote control software from Icom. So that's only 5 minutes worth of work to get that up and set and ready. Of course, as I said, connect a LAN cable into the back. We're doing it with over the network rather than USB. Now what we'll do is we'll go into how to install the software on Windows 10 and how to configure it. Okay, now that we've got the Icom RS-BA1 software on our computer, I've simply put the CD-ROM into the computer and just copied the files directly to a folder on my desktop. I've also created a license key text file, and I've put the product ID and the license key that's written on the CD-ROM in that file, and it just means that if I ever lose the CD-ROM, I can still install the software because I have the license key. So go ahead and go into RS-BA1 folder, and we click on setup.exe and right click run as administrator. We hit yes and select the language as English, and this will start the install process. This will bring up another screen, and all we do is hit next, accept the license agreement, hit next again, and it will ask us for a username and company, and I simply just put my name call sign, and don't worry about the company. Click next. We need to enter the product ID and the license key that's written on the front of the CD-ROM. Once we put that in, it will then ask us where we want to install for the software. We can leave these as default and just click next. Okay, now that's been done, we click finish. Okay, so now we've got two icons. We've got the RS-BA1 Remote Control version 2 software, and we've got the Icom Remote Utility. So go ahead and open up the Icom Remote Utility software. Okay, so the first time that you run the Icom Remote Utility software, you'll be prompted to enter in your PC name, which you can leave as default. Leave the control and serial and audio UDP ports the same as per we did in the radio. And the internet access line, change that to whatever we did in the radio, fiber to the home or ADSL, CATV and English. Hit OK, and the software will ask you to reboot the remote utility and to start it up again. So once you do that, you'll be prompted with a screen that looks similar to this, which is the setup wizard. Now the first thing that we see here is set up for a remote PC, a radio with the server function. So in this case, the IC-9700 has the server function built in, and that's how we're using it. So this is the option that we will select. We'll start up this wizard and hit next, and it will ask us for a server address. So the server address is that IP address in the menus that we looked at before. So if we have a look at the radio, we can see that our IP address is 10.0.0.251. So in our software, just enter in 10.0.0.251. Your IP address will change depending on how your network's set up. So enter in the IP address that you see in the IC-9700 under DHCP in network. Click next. And next it's asking us for the user ID and the password that we set. So my user ID was VK7HH, which is my call sign, and I enter my password and hit next. It will attempt to connect to the radio, and our connection has been successful, all being well. Now we can give the server a description. We'll just call it IC-9700 remote and click finish. Okay, so now by this stage we've got the radio connected to our computer. And if we go into settings, highlight the entry here under radio list and go into settings, we can see some additional settings. We've got codecs that we can change, sample rates and all this other stuff, but just leave it as the recommended settings for now. We need to set a virtual COM port number. Now this can be anything that's available in this list, so all we'll do is we'll just go down and select COM10. That's not really that important. And the speaker and microphone is set as default device. You can go in here and select a specific device, so if you've got a headset, you can select the headset and maybe even a different microphone. Select that microphone, and that will then use those devices for the audio to and from the radio. So go ahead and click OK. Now the next thing we need to do is click Connect. And click OK, and we can hear that there is audio coming from the radio. I've got the radio currently set on 70 centimeters on USB, and the audio that you're hearing is coming through the computer. I'll get the microphone a bit closer to the computer. So you can indeed hear that there's audio coming through the radio. If we actually change the mode on the radio from USB to FM, and then turn the squelch down, now that's definitely coming through the computer. If I go and I mute the computer down here, and I turn up the radio, and that's coming through the radio. So we've got audio sorted now, coming to and from the radio. If we click on AF, we can see here we can adjust our sliders to how much level we want. So if we open that up again, we can turn it down or turn it up as we need. You'll also notice the bar graphs here. AF was going up and modulation as well. AF is indicating that we've got audio coming from the radio, and modulation indicates that we've got audio going to the radio. So they're both matched due to my audio settings at the moment. Okay, so now that we've got audio sorted, we need to control the radio. So go ahead and open the remote control software. Now I've already got mine all set up, and you can see all of the different functions. The first thing that I like to do is go to View, Size, and change it from normal to large so that you've got a little bit more control over what you can see. The first thing, if you're setting this up new, is you'll need to go to Connect Setting. Now in Connect Setting, you'll have your model as set that to the IC-9700. The connection is set to LAN. You have different options in there, USB and remote, but for this purpose we'll select LAN, and remote utility set as IC-9700. The COM port is COM port 10. We set this over here in the Icom remote utility, virtual COM port number 10 over here. And the baud rate is 115200. Now this is different from this baud rate here that we've set in the Icom remote utility. If we set that to 115200, as I explained earlier on, it allows the scope to show up in the remote control software. Our CIV address and two CIV addresses can be left the same, as can the audio device. And we've got one more setting down the bottom here, which is software closing turns off the radio, and I don't want that. I want the radio left on. So I've unticked that. And hit OK. And all you should have to do is click the connect button, and it will turn the radio on. Now I've disconnected from the radio, so I've switched the radio off, as you can see. However, if I click connect, it turns the radio back on again. Now that setting about closing the software, if I close the software like that, you can see that the radio is still switched on. So we'll go ahead and open that software back up again. Now, looking at some of the different functions here that we can do, we've got a big transmit button here. We can turn preamps on and off, and you can see that changing on the radio. We've got our tuning knob, which we can adjust up and down with the mouse. We can also use the mouse wheel to move frequency, and you can see that moving on the radio as well. We've got different bands, so we can go 2 meters, 70 centimeters, or 23 centimeters very easily at just a touch of a button. We can also change the mode, so now we're in single sideband mode. And we've also got RF power down here, where we can adjust this percentage here up and down according to how much RF power we want. We can also adjust the squelch and the AF here as well, so that adjusts our volume up and down, and RF gain and all these other things. If we click mute, that also mutes the software, which is rather convenient. We've also got the full SWR, power output, ALC, and all sorts of metering that we see here, as we also see on the 9700 screen itself. So almost every function that this radio can be controlled by can be done via the software here. Even the notch filtering, look at that, the filtering you can even do. It's quite amazing. I haven't looked into all of these settings yet, but it's quite amazing what this radio and what this software can do. I mentioned before that you've got the scope function, so you can click on scope. That's brought up the scope now on the radio. So as we can see now, I've managed to get the scope running on the 9700, and we can see that running also in the software. We can also go, and we can see there's a slight trace there. We can select that, and that's a birdie. So we can change the frequency easily on the scope here according to what we need. So very, very powerful little thing that we can do there on the with the scope function. So that just about covers the RS-BA1 IP remote control software from Icom. One thing that I haven't done is listen to it on the air, so we might go and put the 9700 connected to an antenna and see how it sounds.
Just chatting with Rex on the telephone about the 122 gig stuff and progress, and also what stuff we've got in stock for the antenna build day happening later in the week. Over. Oh, good stuff. Yeah, well, I wasn't showing anything on the meter before, but I had the AGC off. I'm on the 9100, and it's running whatever it does, probably about 100 watts.